Good evening, everybody, and you're very welcome along to tonight's show. Obviously, I'm not going to start with my usual intro because, well, it's a more somber occasion, and I just want to make sure that everybody in our community and our chat is okay. If anybody needs to express themselves, to vent, or is struggling, please do let us know in the chat, because tonight, yes, we will, of course, be talking about transfers. We'll be discussing the Florian Wirtz situation and everything else. But of course, we do want to make sure and check in and make sure that everybody's doing okay after the events that unfolded in Liverpool on Monday. And as always, I just want to say the city of Liverpool shows its best side when travesty happens. The city comes together and shows why it is such a special place, filled full of special people. And I'm extremely humbled and honoured to be a small part of representing what is an incredible city. So to all of you out there, thank you for all of your thoughts and best wishes to everybody over the last few days. I'm sure it's been extremely difficult for everybody who has any fondness for the city of Liverpool or, of course, our beloved football club. And I just want to say much love to all of you again for all the messages and everybody checking in on each other. It's been it's been a really, really difficult few days for everybody concerned associated with our great football club. And, my thoughts and wishes are to everybody affected and impacted, of course, by those events on Monday. So, yeah, it's a difficult one, this, Tonight was the first stream back for me live after it happened. Making that video that went out this morning, it's honestly the most difficult video I've made since I've been on this channel, because what do? It's hard to get back into normality. It's hard to just think about normal everyday things when there are people in hospital right now. But, I just wanted to say thank you from the start to everybody for your love and support of each other, for the city, for the people. And of course, we knew that we'd be back. So again, thank you. And to everyone that had tickets to our show that we cancelled, I hope you understand the reasoning for it. I could not stand on that stage and celebrate a season with my friends and colleagues, and of course all of you guys, at what had happened. We will reschedule, we will be back over, and we will make sure that we are part of helping fundraising for the magnificent city of Liverpool, those great first responders, and everybody else that may need some counselling or emotional support. Much love to you all. Right, Pontius Berlin, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my man. Appreciate you. Elks, where are you, my friend? You'll never walk alone from Florida. Liverpool community is worldwide. The acts of kindness I saw Monday afterwards was very heartwarming. Love your response to it, Craig. Thank you, my man. Yeah, look, I know the city. I know the people. And we know how Liverpoolians react to these events. And everybody that was there did the best that they could for everybody concerned, to make sure people could contact their families, to make sure that people were able to get home. I mean, we flew home Monday morning ourselves, and the couple of days that I spent in Liverpool and in around it I've never seen the city so joyous. It was a privilege to be in the city, to see people celebrating and showing the best side of what being a Scouser is, and what this city is, and what this football club means to us all. So, yeah, difficult stream to start back with this one. But again, I want to say thank you to all of you, and much love to each and every one of you. Right. T-Fang said, appreciate you, Craig. You're a man of the people. Thank you, bro. Look, it's not about me. This is about the people who, again, stand up and show what Liverpool's made of. And my connection to the city has only deepened. My love for the city has only deepened. And of course, it's people as well. Aaron Waddell. May not be a Scouser. Hell, I've never had the honour of visiting the legendary city, but as a fan, prayers to those affected by Monday, and you'll never walk alone. Thank you, my friend. Lovely sentiment, Aaron. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, for me, I think I just best get back into talking about transfers now. I don't want to, dwell on what's happened. I want anybody who feels that they want to express themselves, please do feel free to put your comment into the chat. And as for that, well, I won't even call him a comedian, Andrew Lawrence, to see the backlash from his stupid punching down low joke is the disgusting thing. And rightly, his bookings are being cancelled left, right and centre. Wesley, heart goes out to all impacted. Thank you for being here, Craig. Helps us all come together, check in with each other, and be here for each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. Joshua said, Craig, we're not messing about this summer. Window been waiting for times like these. Absolutely. It is going to be a brilliant summer. And what I would say to everybody right off the start of the stream tonight is don't be concerned about the Wirtz stuff. I've been watching the chat before I went live. I've been having a look to see what you guys are talking about and how you're feeling about different subjects. And one thing that seemed to come through from the chat was that people were concerned that there's been no progress or no public progress. What I would say is don't worry about the Real Madrid stuff. Don't let that get into the back of your head. Liverpool are going to sign Florian Wirtz. These things do take time. It's a difficult negotiation. Liverpool and Bayer Leverkusen are obviously trying to sort things out. The player has given his word. You've seen from the likes of Paul Joyce, Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein and many other journalists that Florian Wirtz wants to come and play for Liverpool Football Club. We'll go through it all tonight. We'll tell you what the journalists are reporting. Of course, we'll try our best to keep up to date with what you guys are saying as well. Jamie said no swearing in the chat. Why? We don't mind swearing, my man. You know, if we can't swear on this channel, where can we? Mark, thank you again for coming back as a member, man of the channel. Let's laugh at United, said Ian. Yeah, how did they lose a friendly over in, what was it, Malaysia, I think it was. That's mad. Right, look, ladies and gents, I'm going to start to go through this news to try and keep you up to date. But of course, as I mentioned, if anybody wants to put in any messages or condolences or sentiment or express yourself into the chat, this is your occasion to do it. And again, thank you. Right, so Andy said, thank you for your kindness, humility and compassion you've showed since Monday. Appreciate everything you do for us. It's an absolute pleasure. I look, as I've always said, man, I'm a small part of a big cog in this machine of Anfield Agenda, and I'm very humbled to be here as part of you all and to represent your viewpoints. So let's get stuck into the transfer news. We'll start off, if I may, with a bit of an update, because there's been lots happening since we've last spoke. I wanted to just touch on Johnny Heidinga first, if that's okay. So you may or may not be aware, but Liverpool have given permission to Johnny Heidinga for talks with Ajax to become their new head coach, and it looks like that's going to go through. But there's also talk that Liverpool may be bringing in Dirk Kuyt to fill that void left if Johnny Heidinga does indeed go to Ajax. And look, Johnny turned down approaches during the season because he wanted to see through the campaign with Liverpool, and I'm sure that Arne Slot will be sad to lose him, but can totally understand. You know, it's a head coach's role at a club like Ajax. I think everybody should just wish him the best if he does indeed take up that offer, which it looks like he may well do. So keep an eye on the Dirk Kuyt situation. There's been talk that he could be coming in to join Liverpool's coaching staff, and I actually think that would be incredible, in all honesty. I mean, you know, I'm a big fan of Dirk Kuyt, always have been, always will be. His attitude and his positivity is infectious. He was a player that left it all out there on the pitch for the Reds as well. And I think it will be a great addition to Arne Slot's coaching team. I also want to give credit and congratulate our manager on winning the LMA Manager of the Year award. He didn't attend for obvious reasons, and both himself and Jurgen Klopp shared great sentiment on the night. So I want to congratulate him for that as well. Mohamed Salah also being named the Premier League Player of the Season, as well as the PFA Riders Player of the Season. Ryan Gravenberch, Young Player of the Season. Just so many things that, you know, we have to catch up on and celebrate. Stevie Boy said, Gakpo to Bayern, thoughts and prayers, you'll never walk alone. Yeah, so on this Gakpo to Bayern stuff, and I will get onto that, it's a little bit further than the list that we're going through tonight, but the interest is real. I can't sit here and tell you what's going to happen because truthfully I don't know. I would be very surprised if Liverpool were open to listening to an offer for Cody Gakpo, but I don't know after that. We'll talk through it tonight, and I'm just going to try my best to go through in chronological order for everybody, if that's okay. Just because, you know, tonight I'm trying to structure the stream a little bit just to make sure that my own head stays focused and zoned in, because I won't lie to you, my head's been up my arse over the last couple of days. Darren, thank you, my bro. Appreciate you. Adam Brown, all thoughts and prayers with those affected by Monday's horrific incident. Hope your show on Sunday went well. The transfer news at the moment is so exciting. Show was good, thank you, mate. Yeah, it was a very eventful day on Sunday for lots of different reasons. The venue had to be evacuated at one point because Reds were letting off flares downstairs and stuff as everyone was celebrating the Premier League trophy. It was a great day to be in Liverpool. It was a great day to be with everybody at the Hot Water Comedy Club and celebrate the Reds lifting that Premier League title. It was so lovely to meet so many people, take photos and have a chat as well, man. You know, it just strengthened my bond and my ties with the city. Right, so Liverpool have begun the process, as I mentioned, of trying to replace Johnny Heidinga if indeed he does take up that role with Ajax, and Dirk Kuyt is a name that is firmly fixed and coming in. Again, I just want to read this out from Liverpool Football Club. Arne Slot has expressed his admiration for the emergency response to the serious incident that occurred during our trophy parade. Our head coach was due to receive 2 accolades at the LMA occasion tonight, but withdrew in solidarity with those affected by the incident on Monday. Right, let's talk Jarell Quansah for a minute. And don't worry, I'm getting to the Wirtz stuff, ladies and gentlemen. If there's one thing I will say to you at the start of the stream, it's I don't think you've anything to be concerned about. I understand the frustrations that maybe, it hasn't moved along yet, but honestly, it is going to happen, and I don't believe you've anything to be concerned about. Jarell Quansah, though, let's start with something from Caught Offside. They said that Liverpool want to sell Jarell Quansah for about £30 million. Leverkusen, Dortmund, Forest, Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton, Newcastle are all interested in the defender. What I would say is that price tag isn't high enough. Liverpool will ask for more money than that if they are to sell Jarell Quansah. Other reports have suggested about £50 million, and I think that is far closer to the number that Liverpool would be looking to do business at. So, Sport Bild have said, Florian Wirtz wants to wear the red of Liverpool. The last tasks have to be completed by the manager's lawyers, etc., and then the transfer of Wirtz to Liverpool will be formally completed. Now, there is a little bit of uncertainty about where he is. Well, he's posted that he was still on holiday, so it doesn't look like he is in for his medical. We knew Frimpong has flown in, completed the formalities of his deal. That will be announced on June the 1st, and we believe Liverpool will have Wirtz sorted by then as well, and we'll get that double announcement. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you it is 100% signed, sealed and delivered. It isn't. He has a medical to go through, and of course the fee has to be agreed and the way that fee is paid with Leverkusen. But again, he's made this decision. He wants to become a Liverpool player. Let's laugh at United for a minute, and for a different reason than what's happened on the football pitch. I was reading this in The Athletic yesterday. Manchester United's Old Trafford Stadium has been given a 2-star food hygiene rating after mouse droppings were found in multiple hospitality areas. Multiple. I won't be confident again, Craig, after Zubamendi. So, the thing I would say, Elmir, is I can sit here and say to you, without any hesitation, that Wirtz has made his decision. I understand people being nervous about it. The Zubamendi stuff, look, it is what it is. It happened. He's going to become an Arsenal player. I get it. But this has been worked on for a very long time. And over the course of tonight, we're going to try and give you as much information around that as we can. We're going to talk about Ekitike as well a little bit tonight. Liverpool and Chelsea locked in a battle for his signature. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I really don't. I couldn't sit here now and tell you who's favoured to sign him, because at the back of my mind, I'm not yet fully convinced that Liverpool are putting their eggs in the Ekitike basket. I'm not. I'm still uncertain about that, because at the back of my mind, and this is just a gut feeling thing, I still don't think we want to give up on the idea of Alvarez. I still think that is the priority, but let's wait and see. So, Florian Plettenberg said, Liverpool are now seriously in the race for Ekitike. Talks have taken place. Slot Edwards are keen on him. The biggest rival at the moment is Chelsea. Eintracht Frankfurt have not yet received an offer, and they will demand €100 million for the player. Darren Bowden, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my man. Appreciate you. So, Liverpool are hopeful that Florian Wirtz will be their main man in the next week or so. Wirtz clearly wants to move, and there is no hiding the fact that LFC are mad about him in return. Rumours on Tuesday that a deal had fallen through were just that, baseless rumours. That's from Lewis Steele and Dominic King. So like I've said, folks, you don't need to be concerned on the Florian Wirtz stuff. I get it. It's frustrating. I totally understand what Elmir and others have said as well about once bitten, twice shy. But this one is happening. Wirtz has made his decision, and he won't be going back on it. Liverpool and him want to get this deal sorted before he breaks for his international games with, I think it's the Nations League semi-finals, if my memory's right. And everybody wants this resolved before then, and parties are working hard to make sure that it is. So, again, stick with us and we'll keep you up to date on it. This from Lewis Steele and Dominic King as well said, after signing Wirtz in what would be a club record deal, Liverpool will turn their attention to signing a number 9 and look set to sell Darwin Núñez to raise funds to do so. Nomad, how are you, bro? Said, this has been a great start to the window. If we get Kerkez and Wirtz over the line, Ekitike for 100 million is lunacy. I agree. I just don't see a €100 million player there. I don't. I could be wrong on it, but for me, that price is too high. Also, 2 bits of news that I don't know how to say other than I'm glad about it. So firstly, Rio Ferdinand is stepping down from commentary and punditry with TNT Sport. And secondly, Sky Sports are cancelling the football show, which includes Ref Watch. So that is a massive W, because they are two things that we here in our community have been banging the drum about for a long time. Ferdinand and his stupid takes on all things Liverpool, and of course Ref Watch and all the nonsense that comes along with it, was just a way to be able to try and throw fans under the bus, in my opinion. Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I'd never liked the idea. It was setting fans up. It was gaslighting us, and I don't like it. Craig, you were saying your head's been up your arse last few days. Many heads been affected by it. You know, I've been formed since Monday night, but it's good to have you back. Thank you, my man. Yeah, look, I've always felt that it was gaslighting fans, Ref Watch, and I've never liked it. It was just, they set people up, and then they just, when fans reacted to it, we were all the worst in the world. So I'm glad both of those two shows are gone. Andy said, Ref Watch was pointless. 98% agree with the ref's decision. Absolutely. Absolutely. It was just so pointless. It was just basically another way to explain away the stupid decisions that we all seen that they were getting wrong. And I'm very glad it's going. Right, so Fabrizio Romano said Florian Wirtz deal advances with Liverpool and Bayern looking or working on it. What I don't know, what I can say to you right now is exactly how much money is going to be involved in this deal, because I don't know. But what I would say to you is I would be very confident that Liverpool will get this fee down a lot less than the 150 million euro that's been mentioned. I would expect this to, yes, break Liverpool's transfer record, but my own thoughts are we'll probably see this deal somewhere about 120 in euro is where my guess is on this one. Bricktop said, hey mate, great video this morning. Lovely words. Thank you, my friend. Bye Rio, said Ash as well. Yeah, absolutely. I'm fed up of it, by the way, Rio Ferdinand and his stupid takes. But again, won't have to listen to much longer on TNT Sports, so that's a good news. Michael Dunstan, thank you. LFC Love said, God bless Liverpool faithful, especially those affected by Monday's events. Love to all associated with the channel, Craig and Connor. Thank you. Appreciate that, LFC Love. Eddie Cox Wilkins, always lovely to see you, my man. Thank you for dropping in. Appreciate you and your support. How amazing is it that United win nothing, but the problem is Anthony, 45 minutes away from winning the trophy? I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Especially, you heard the reports that, what's his face? Cunha is demanding the number 10 shirt there at Manchester United, and they have agreed that fee, so he's going to become a United player. And apparently, in the dressing room, Garnacho was told by Ruben Amorim, you better pray that you can find a new club. So, yeah, it looks like he's trying to get rid of that player power out of there as well. Now, on Kerkez, we do have some developments here. So, Romano has said Milos Kerkez has already said yes to the Liverpool project. No issues on personal terms. Club to club talks underway, with Liverpool also busy on Florian Wirtz deal, but in regular contact with Bournemouth. Hi Craig, I hope Gary Lineker takes Rio's spot. I thought that they handled Gary Lineker's exit from Match of the Day really, really well. I kind of got emotional watching it, to be honest with you. 25 years of Gary Lineker, and look, I'm old enough to remember the great Des Lynam before him. Yeah, it was a bit emotional watching that, to be honest, and I thought the Andrea Bocelli finish to it as well was a classy touch. Zoshim, thank you. Appreciate you. Welcome back. I'm excited about this window. So am I. And by the way, for everybody that's trying to comment on other videos saying, will I stop moaning about FSG now? Well, it's a good start. So, yeah. You know, if FSG continue to do this, then yeah, that's all I've ever wanted as a fan, is for them to back the manager. So, yeah. I will stop moaning as long as they keep ponying up the dough. Imagine Wirtz, Alvarez, Salah on top reminds me of the best trio ever, with Bobby, Mane, Salah will be entering the golden age. Alex Macklin said Sky Sports having a clear out. What do you think Wirtz would mean for Szoboszlai, Craig? Well, I think we got a hint, Padge, after what Arne Slot said. He said that Szoboszlai has gone into his more preferred position of the right side of the midfield for the last game. And that kind of gave us a hint, I think, at where maybe his future will lie. It's still, I guess, to be decided or to be figured out if he's going to be a false nine, if he's going to maybe operate off the left side, if he's going to operate in the advanced midfield position, which I think he probably will. Plenty of reports that still suggest Liverpool want that number 9 as well. But it will be after we move on Darwin Núñez. So I certainly wouldn't be expecting a here we go on a striker just yet. I do think Liverpool have to be mindful of the amount of money that they're going to be spending and do have to bring some money in. And look, that's okay. We're probably going to bring in 150 to 200 million quid in sales this summer. And we'll talk about some of those tonight as well. What's your percentage on Wirtz staying at Leverkusen? 1%, if even. Genuinely, I am 100% that he's coming to Liverpool. There's no doubt in my mind that Florian Wirtz has told Liverpool yes. I know that there's been reports in some of the Spanish newspapers saying that Real Madrid haven't thrown the towel in and that Xabi Alonso are going there, blah, 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 blah. But look, Wirtz has been impressed with the stadium, the fans, the project. Arne Slot has absolutely won him over. And despite reports, many reputable agencies in Germany have said that Liverpool were always the one. You know, even when Manchester City's name was being mentioned and Bayern Munich were feeling confident, Liverpool were always going to be the one, which surprised me, to be honest with you, but in a good way. And it was great to see everybody coming together on that last day of the season. You know, Liverpool managers and players, past and present. It was just a really lovely touch, and I thought it was the day we all wanted. Even Trent had his moment on the pitch, and it was just a day about celebration. Everybody was there today, or that day, just to celebrate what was a long time waiting for. Good to see you, Craig. Hope you're well. I love the live stream at the weekend. Do you think he'll be back the same place? It was classy. Yeah, look, we've been speaking with the venue, and of course we want to come back to Liverpool as soon as possible. But it just didn't feel right, you know, to be on stage tonight there, celebrating and partying. It just wouldn't have felt right. So we thought, take a step back and we'll come back over and we'll try to work with the venue as well to see if we can't be part of a fundraiser or anything like that to raise funds for mental health services, first responders, and you know, those, of course, that have been impacted or are still in hospital. It is truly a miracle that it looks like everyone involved in that incident, everybody that was hurt in that incident, will make a recovery. I'm still so grateful for that, and I'm sure you all are as well. But what we seen, Stargirl, was the city of Liverpool showing its spirit and its heart on that day, and it just makes me incredibly proud, you know, to know so many Scousers, to, you know, be a small part of this little football club's community. It's you know, it just reinforced my bond with the city and made me understand and know exactly why I am a Liverpool fan. Nicholas Herman said, "Hey Craig, love the content. How realistic do you think Alvarez is this summer? And what's your opinion on him compared to the other linked with strikers? Personally, I only see value in Alvarez." So, lots to go through and unpack there, Nicholas. How realistic do I think Alvarez is? I don't know. And that's being honest with you. I want to think there's a chance. And deep down, I think he would be more of Liverpool's number one target than Ekitike. I just don't know if there's any way to prize him out of Atletico Madrid. They've certainly come out and said that they're not going to lose him. But look, football clubs have said that before and things have changed. So, yeah, I don't know. Is the honest. I'm not going to sit here and say to you, start to be excited about it or it's possible. But I'm certainly not ruling it out 100% just yet. I have to say, Nicholas, I'd be somewhat underwhelmed if it was Hugo Ekitike. But in saying that, I feel a lot better about it with Wirtz in behind as well. You know, after we announced that we were going in for Wirtz, I started to feel a lot more confident no matter what else happened then. Because, you know, he's an incredible footballer and somebody who I genuinely has a chance of winning a Ballon d'Or someday. That's how good I think Wirtz will be. Love Raven 1411 said, "I think we should sign Steve Bracknell as assistant manager. He's Royal Oak FC proven." I think maybe just a little bit a little bit too far along there for him in his career just yet. Maybe just not there. So, Kerkez, I would say, right now, I think that we as Liverpool fans can start to look forward to Frimpong, Wirtz and Kerkez. They are three signings that I think we can feel very, very, very relaxed and confident about. Now, there's been no agreement between Liverpool and Bournemouth yet on a fee that I'm aware of for Milos Kerkez, but again, all arrows are just pointing towards him moving to Liverpool. But we got to be mindful as well. We can only get 2 players signed up before that June 1st to June 10th window. Then after that, obviously June 16th onwards, Liverpool can sign as many players as they want. And Liverpool will be looking to move players on as well. And Queevy and Kelleher, one of them. Brentford have approached Liverpool about signing Queevy and Kelleher. But they're not the only club. There's many clubs interested. Costas will likely move on. Kwanzaa could move on. Not sure what's happening with Canade still to this moment. I don't know. So we'll go through it all tonight over the course of the stream. So do stick with me because we have a lot to go through. Right. Your personal guess on when Wirtz will get it. Here we go. I think once the breakthrough happens between Liverpool and Leverkusen over the structure of the fee and the way it's to be paid, I think you get the here we go. And then the player will fly in for his medical and the formalities will have happened. Everything agreed with Wirtz and his camp, according to many reputable journalists. It's just Liverpool now hashing out that deal with Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes. And I know a lot of people have been concerned about it, but they have kind of been busy celebrating a league title and all the events that Liverpool had. They cancelled internal events that were due to take place over the last couple of days, obviously, with respect to what happened on Monday. But don't be concerned about it. Don't let people start to wind you up or make you feel like it isn't going to happen. Wirtz wants Liverpool. Wirtz will be a Liverpool player. To the best of my understanding, we're going to be talking about either number 23 or 27 for Florian Wirtz. And Jeremy Frimpong, we believe, number 30 from what we're hearing. So, Ryan Harder died trying said, I've been looking at the realistic striker options in Europe and their stats, and I have to say there aren't many that impresses. Kerkez, Ekitike and Ekitike are probably the best options. Ekitike I've not seen, the guy from Atalanta, sorry. I've not seen him linked with Liverpool much, to be honest with you. Kerkez, as I've always said, I think you can rule him out of Liverpool 100%. Arsenal, I think it'll be for Arsenal between him, Sesko, and they're still looking at Julian Alvarez as well. But I've seen so many comments from Liverpool fans in the chat on a lot of our recent videos just saying that we should be in for Kerkez, that he's the most informed striker in Europe. All I can say to you is what I've always heard, been told and read is that Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes just don't think that he's been tested in a high enough league or has a big enough body of work in a high enough caliber top 5 European league to justify putting that roll of the dice in again. And I agree with it, you know, and take into account his age as well. He's going to be 27 or he is 27, so just doesn't seem like a right fit for me. But what I will sit here now and be honest about, I don't know what the situation is with Cody Gakpo and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are in the market for a winger. We know that. There's been talk about them looking at the kid from Athletic Bilbao, Nico Williams. There's been talk about them looking at Rafa Leao. Obviously, there's been talk about Florian Wirtz, which they've lost out on. And now Cody Gakpo's name has been mentioned. And I can't sit here and say to you if he may go or not. I don't know. Some reports are saying that Munich are one of the few clubs that could interest them. Truth is, I really don't know because both of our left wingers now have been linked with moves away from the club and both of our left wingers have been linked with staying at the club. So right now, I don't know where we are on that one. Ian Doyle of the Echo has said Liverpool are ready to sell Kelleher for an offer in excess of 20 million as interested clubs start to make moves to sign him. Romano has said an agreement between Liverpool and Bournemouth is expected to be reached soon for Milos Kerkez. Soon. So that's good news. Liverpool are working hard to seal the deal with Wirtz for Florian Wirtz with Bayer Leverkusen, said Romano. Chelsea are currently in concrete talks over Hugo Ekitike. Chelsea are currently putting in the most effort, said Florian Plettenberg. And also on Chelsea, they will get Liam Delap, like I've been saying. Andy, shout out to you in the chat, mate, for giving us that heads up a long time ago. It does look like United will lose out there and Liam Delap will become a Chelsea player, like we've been mentioning for a while. Sky Sports in Germany have said Bayer Leverkusen's Florian Wirtz is once again the Bundesliga Player of the Season in the vote by the Players' Union with 29.1% ahead of Harry Kane and Michael Elise from Bayern. So congratulations on that one. Stephen Shupping said, Craig, I hope you're doing well. I'm excited for this off-season, big off-season. Loading Virgil said it again on Sunday. Loving Virgil, I think he said it again on Sunday. See a swap for Yuli at 50-60 million. We heard a huge hunter. Look, I think that would be great if Liverpool could put some money on top of Darwin Núñez, and it would have to be a big chunk of money. Look, for me, a dream summer. Wirtz, Alvarez, Kerkez, Frimpong, and a centre-back. I mean, wow. I think it's far-fetched because the numbers involved will be astronomical, but this piece here from Bild in Germany said, Liverpool are keen on Ekitike. Chelsea may have the edge, but Liverpool are still willing to spend big despite their pending €150 million deal for Florian Wirtz. Again, I don't think you'll see Liverpool pay that much for Florian Wirtz. I think the number will be a little bit less than the highlighted number. Right. Couple of things, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you are enjoying the stream so far, and thank you for being with us, do drop a like on it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I don't know if you've seen this over the last day or two, but we were now the 4th most watched club-specific fan channel on YouTube. Thank you to everyone for the support on that one. We'll be number 3 by next month, though, but just behind the United Stand and AFTV. So it just goes to show you how our community continues to grow. Liverpool fans far and wide coming in to share this journey with us. And of course, we really do appreciate all of your support. Terence Govender said, I'm out in South Africa, will be praying for the families. Class act, Terence, thank you. And it does look like everybody will be making a full recovery from the incident. And honestly, I'm still so eternally grateful for that. You know, I'm sure we've all seen very disturbing clips. And I'm not going to lie, when I'd seen them, I expected fatalities. And I'm sure you did as well. So to get these updates that I think as of right now, there's still 11 people in hospital or 7. I can't exactly remember the last update. But hopefully everybody pulls through and are back home with their families and loved ones. And, you know, look, I'm not going to lie, this affected me more than I thought it was going to. It really has. My head's been all over the place for the last few days. I've been breaking down into tears. I've been just shell-shocked, trying to check in on everybody, make sure that people we know in our community that we hadn't heard from, and it's just been a flurry of activity behind the scenes, and I'm just really, really disturbed by it all. You know, I can't lie. It's hit all of us hard. Albert said 100 million for Ekitike or 120 each for Alvarez, no brainer. 100% agree, mate. 100%. For me, Ekitike could be brilliant. He could be an absolute masterstroke, but there's just something about that fee that just doesn't sit well with me. I will bow down to the knowledge of Edwards, Hughes and the Liverpool recruitment team 100%. You know, whatever they think is best, they have the numbers, the data in front of them. But I don't know, it's just always felt like I'm unsure. But like I said, it's just one man's opinion. The Wirtz signing has me excited because he's a class act. Also, the club is saying we believe in Arne Slot and his vision going forward. Yeah, absolutely. Agree with that 100%. So yeah, look, as I said at the start of the stream, if there's one thing I'll say to you tonight, it's don't be concerned about the Wirtz deal. Don't let these nonsense stories coming out of Spain, because look, again, look at where they're coming from. You're not seeing anybody in Germany or England or any other reputable source talking about Real Madrid and Wirtz. All they are is the usual suspects over in Spain who are, again, just trying to keep Madrid's name relevant in all these conversations and get those clicks. But Wirtz will be a Liverpool Football Club player. Who do you think will likely leave? I have a feeling Núñez, Jota, Elliott, Endo, Kwanzaa, Chimikas, Kelleher, maybe Diaz. Jones is safe for versatility. So On the list that you put through there, Nunes 100% going. Jota not sure, could go either way. Elliott, I think he's going. And I think if you looked at his body language at the end of the game on Sunday, he looked upset. You know, he celebrated, of course, as well, but he looked like a player to me that was saying his goodbyes to Anfield. So I do think he moves on, and we'll talk about interest in him in a while. Kwanzaa, again, I also think he will move on, but Liverpool will want to make sure that they have Kanade's situation sorted before they go and let somebody else go. Diaz, don't know. Don't know the whole him and Gakpo situation, mate. I really don't. I don't understand why we'd want to get rid of either, in all honesty. Unless maybe Arna does want Wirtz to operate in off the left. I'm not sure. But for me, I wouldn't be in a rush to move on either of them. Jones, yeah, look, again, I think he's going nowhere. If Madrid stall, Wirtz is going, I'm going to lose it. Steal Wirtz, sorry. They're not going to. Don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry about Madrid and Florian Wirtz. It's just nonsense. It's, again, look where the stories are coming from. Only outlets in Spain that are trying to just get those clicks. And again, have Liverpool fans worked into a tizzy. Don't be concerned about it. Liverpool are going to sign Florian Wirtz. Shane, how are you, my man? Said, tough few days for Liverpool as a city and as a football club. Praying for everyone that's injured and their full recovery. Class act, Shane. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Matthew George said, Craig, I'd like to send a longer thank you to you and the AA crew, but unsure on the email. Been a silent watcher for ages, but wanted you to know how appreciated you and your crew in this community are. That's such a beautiful sentiment, George. Thank you. Or Matthew, excuse me. Matthew George. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I met a few people when I was over in Liverpool of various ages as well that would be like me and wouldn't really be a commenter, would kind of watch silently. And it's been lovely to have people come up and again talk about our community and the channel, and appreciate your support, Matthew. The email, if you ever do want to contact me, is contact@AnfieldAgenda.com. And, you know, I try my best. There's been a few I haven't responded to over the last few days because, as I've mentioned, my head's been up my ass. You know, I've been trying to touch base with everyone in our community to make sure they're all okay, but I haven't really had a chance yet to catch up myself and process things. Who do you think at centre-back? Haven't really heard much after Huijsen. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this on stage on Sunday and the centre-back situation. It is a really difficult one to call. You've got the guy Araujo from Benfica. There's a few other names, but I don't know if we're looking left or right-sided because I don't know who could potentially be moving on. In an ideal world, I think Kanade signs a new deal and the manager would sell Kwanzaa. And look, I know people might not agree about that, and I've been saying this for a while. My information has been that Kwanzaa was going to be available to be sold because I don't think the manager, despite his public statements to the contrary, I don't think that he really believes 100% that he's ready. And if Liverpool can get the type of money that's been mentioned for Kwanzaa, I think we should take it personally. But I honestly don't know, mate, at centre-back. I'd be a liar to sit here and tell you that there's a favourite or there's somebody I know we're looking at. I truly don't. Galileo Beast said, if Kerkez is going to Liverpool, would Andy be on the bench? I think yes, in theory, but also it's going to be a long season and we need both those. Like, look at this season, just as an example. We've gone between Andy Robertson and Costas, and neither have really hit the heights that we would want, although both have had a good steady season. I think this has been one of Costas, if not the best season he's had in a Liverpool shirt. But I think Andy Robertson will be the deputy, yes, and that's understandable. You know, if Robbo, I think, is going to have a big season, and here's why I think he'll have a big season. I think that he's going to play for his contract because he's got 1 year to go at Liverpool, and I think he's going to leave it all out on the pitch this year to try and get another year or two. And we will have enough game time to make sure that Kerkez and Andy Robertson get minutes on the pitch. So remember, this window has been about not just bringing in first team players, but making sure that when we do rotate and change, that strength and depth is there, and we don't have a situation where, you know, we have to field a very, very weak inside, let's say in the FA Cup or something like that. This has been about making sure that Liverpool Football Club can challenge for all the major trophies for years going forward. So you want two great left backs, you want two great right backs, you want, in my humble opinion, 5 good centre backs. So yeah, that's right. And looks like Jordan Henderson, by the way, may be going back to Sunderland. That's been reported. Ben Jacobs said Sunderland are considering re-signing Jordan Henderson after winning promotion to the Premier League. Henderson was watching the Sunderland beat Sheffield United in the playoff final, and the Sunderland hierarchy are aware that he's likely to leave Ajax this summer. So you may see Jordan Henderson back in the Prem with his boyhood club. Let's talk about Endo for a second, because he'd been asked about his future, and this is what he had to say. I think I'll be at Liverpool next season. If I have the chance to play for Liverpool, would I really want to throw that away and move to another team? I wouldn't. Absolutely. Love it. And we all want Endo to stay, right? Everyone I've seen that's seen that post to be like, yeah, my guy. And I want Endo to stay. If Endo's happy with his role at the club under Arne Slot, and it seems like he is, why would you want rid of him? Not at all. So for me, I hope Endo stays. But again, it could come down to how much money the club need to bring in, and if we bring in another player in that position. The detective said, great news about the ranking on the fan channels, and we're here to help you grow even more. Best channel on YouTube. Keep it up, mate. Thank you. Yeah, look, I think we're number 3 now, in all honesty. I think we've moved past the channel that is in 3rd, but to be up there, man, look at the gap between us and our peers. You know, there's a 22 million view gap since the start of the year between our channel and our nearest Liverpool rival. So I'm just really humbled, man. You know, I've always said I'm nothing special. I'm just a normal working class guy who got a little bit lucky and have a great community behind me. But we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep trying making you all proud. And thank you for your support. S4T said, I read somewhere that there's a chance we're considering offering Curtis Jones in the Wirtz deal. Have you heard anything about that? No, I haven't. I've heard some talk about Kwanzaa. I've heard talk about Elliott as potential destinations, potential signings for Leverkusen, but nothing on Curtis Jones. Again, not saying whoever put that out there is right or wrong. I'm just saying I've heard nothing about it at all. David Newell said, I honestly wouldn't sell Gomez this window. If we're selling Kwanzaa and unsure on the Kanade situation, keep him for his versatility, replacing Kwanzaa and secure Kanade before losing Gomez. I don't want to lose Joe Gomez either. I think Joe Gomez is really important. Now, let me just, again, reiterate why I think we're going to see the striker situation be one of the latter ones that Liverpool resolve. So this here from Lewis Steele and Dominic King said, after signing Wirtz in what would be a club record deal, Liverpool will turn their attention to signing a number 9 and look set to sell Darwin Núñez to raise funds to do so. Now, I know we're all going to go, what, raising money now, sell to buy, but we kind of have to with the kind of numbers we're talking about in this window. You know, if you're talking, let's say, 100 million on Wirtz, and then you're talking 30 million on Frimpong, 40 to 45 million on Kerkez, and then you're going to bring in a striker that will most likely cost upwards of 60, 70 million. You will see that, yes, Liverpool will have to bring in money. And that's okay. Like we've said at the very start of this window, I'm okay as long as we all sit back and look and think, yes, this squad has been improved. And if sales are funding part of that, nothing wrong with that. If they're players that the manager thinks need to move on and players that want to go in search of more football, good. I hope Liverpool bring in the most money possible for those players and put it to good use. Yes, this, what Dalglish said there. 100%, mate. If I could stick the old 100 emoji on your post, I would. Wirtz wants Liverpool, end of story. Relax, guys. Yes, I absolutely echo that sentiment, man. I was reading this before I posted it up just to think, how's he going to end this comment? I'm off to United for food because you're constipated. Yeah, don't set that 2-star hygiene rating as well. Massive shout out to the Northwest Ambulance, Merseyside Police and Merseyside Fire Brigade for all their hard work. Honestly, the best city and community. Yeah, I agree, and I'm so glad you brought that up, mate. Thank you. It was just incredible to see the city of Liverpool and its people just offer up their homes. Restaurants open up to be triage centres, the ambulance service, the St. John's ambulance service, Merseyside Police. I think everybody has been remarkable during all of this. It was a really difficult circumstance, and I think everybody has shown again the best side of the city of Liverpool and why we all have such an affinity and connection to it and to the people that live there. Wish Thiago stayed fit. Thiago Wirtz. Yeah, look, I mean, it would have been nice, but, you know, I'm still always going to be glad Thiago Alcantara was a Liverpool player. Right, I've got more news to keep moving through, by the way. So, Lewis Steele said, Creevy Kelleher will almost certainly be leaving Liverpool this summer. Bournemouth, West Ham, Leeds and Brentford are among the clubs interested. So, let's do a poll. We haven't done a poll yet tonight. So, I want to ask you, give me a list of strikers that Liverpool could realistically get, and we'll try to work down who you guys want. So, let me ask, who should we sign as a striker? So first up, Alvarez. Give me some more shouts in the chat, by the way. Ekitike. Tesco. See, let's throw his name in the hat. I need one more name, folks. Give me one more name that you think could be a realistic option. João Pedro, or are we no on João Pedro? Let me just go back in here and see if everybody thinks on that one. Kerkez, not going to happen. Retegate, not going to happen. Vlahovic, not going to happen. There's names here. Dovbyk, come on now. He's too old and not going to happen. Too old, too not good enough either. Openda, nope, don't see that one happening. Isak, 100% staying at Newcastle after they've qualified for the Champions League. How much do we buy Mamardashvili for? I want to say 25. My memory thinks 25 million. Rashford. Jonathan David is an option, but he'd be the cheap option. The market is really poor. Yes, I agree. I'm going to say João Pedro is the last option because I think he's realistic. So we'll see what you guys think on that one. Right, I have a couple more super chats I need to catch up on. Where am I? Which way does this one go? Is it that way or this way? Yeah, it's that way. Cool. Done that one, done that one, done that one, done that one. How many were at the parade? 1.5 million is the number that I've seen. 1 million has also been put around. I think it's somewhere between 1 million and 1.5 million. And look, I was driving into Liverpool on Sunday from Wigan, which is where we were staying. Our hotel was all the way out in Wigan. And everywhere we came through, it was just Liverpool shirts everywhere. We got in towards Liverpool. You could see people walking in red t-shirts, red jerseys, red scarves from every single angle. It was just an incredible spectacle to be in and around the city and just feel the energy of the city on Sunday, as of course the Reds were about to collect that Premier League trophy. It was remarkable. It's something that'll stand with me forever. If you told me that we'd lose Trent on a free, but we'd get Kerkez, Frimpong and Florian Wirtz, I'd bite your hand off for the window. I agree. Man, I absolutely agree. I mean, you can go back and watch stream 6 months ago where we were talking about Wirtz, and I never, ever, ever, ever once thought that Liverpool would have the financial, well, I knew we had the ability, but would have the financial balls, probably the right words, to push through and get his signature. I am remarkably impressed. That's all I can say to everybody working in the recruitment. And that goes from obviously Werner, John W. Henry, Billy Hogan, all the way down. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible what Liverpool are doing here. but not surprised. You know, we often talk about acting like a big club. Well, here we've put our best foot forward, and the player who came out himself recently and said he never thinks about money in his career. He didn't, that isn't what motivates him. He wants to win. He wants to be moving in the right direction with his career and progressing through, and Liverpool's a great destination for that. Darren, thank you, man. Class act, appreciate you. Craig, what player did you meet at your show? None, mate. Do you think Wirtz is a guarantee? So, do you mean guarantee to be successful at Liverpool, or do you mean guarantee that he will come to Liverpool? Because I can say yes to both of them. And I do think the answer to both of them is yes. Honestly, if you said to me right now, give me a percentage on Wirtz to Liverpool, I'm saying to you 96, 97%. That's how confident I am. Can't see Madrid bidding for Wirtz. They're wasting their time if they do, because he's made his mind up where he wants to go. And I don't think they have the money to sign Florian Wirtz, if I'm being really honest with you. You know, look at who they have there as well. You can't have a player like Wirtz in that team as well. So we've already seen Xabi Alonso say that Rodrigo's a part of his plans there. They have Kylian Mbappe. They have Jude Bellingham. They have Trent coming in. They're not going to have a Florian Wirtz in their team either. So don't worry about it. I know Madrid is a daunting proposition, and I know that they've beaten us to players before, but this is not going to be one of those occasions. It's Liverpool. That's all I'm going to say, and we will get the here we go soon. Russian Honey Badger said, wish we got Marmoush. Yeah, he feels like one that got away, but again, would Liverpool have paid the wages that he's on at Man City? Probably not. Right, keep going with the news. Lewis Steele said, I can't see the Florian Wirtz deal with Liverpool falling through. Again, let me reiterate that just in case you misheard me. I can't see the Florian Wirtz deal with Liverpool falling through. So, Peter Rourke said, Liverpool are lining up a move for former Red Star Dirk Kuyt to replace Johnny Heidinga on Arne Slot's coaching staff. Former Liverpool forward Kuyt has been working in Belgium as a head coach, but is set to leave the club this summer. And look, Heidinga will be a big loss. Johnny Heidinga has been a big part of Arne Slot's success with Sipke Hulshoff as well this season. Ruben Peters obviously there as well. But this would be, in my opinion, a very astute addition to the backroom staff from Arne. So, this one is going to be interesting to see what you think. The outlay from incomings could reach 250 to 300 million for Liverpool this summer, but the only way they can achieve this is if they sell players. That coming from Lewis Steele. So the outlay from incomings could reach up to 250, 300 million pound for Liverpool this summer, but the only way they can achieve this is if they sell players. But it's about selling the right players to fund the right incomings, as well as, of course, with the money that's already in the pot. So, Lewis Steele said, Cody Gakpo is very, very likely to be at Liverpool next season. Bayern Munich's interest in the Dutch winger is real. There's been a couple of different reports around how interested he might potentially be. So, again, Lewis Steele said Leeds, Valencia and Lille are among the clubs interested in Kostas Tsimikas, who is likely to leave Liverpool this summer. Again, I think that's the right move. You know, if you're asking me now for a concrete list of players I think leaves, Kelleher, Costas, Darwin, Elliott. They're four that and Tyler Morton. I'd throw him in as the fifth. They're five players I feel I'm almost certain leave Liverpool this summer. Kwanzaa would be close there. If you told me Canada was going to sign a new deal, I would put Kwanzaa into that mix as well, personally. What's all this talk about Madrid hijacking Wirtz deal? It's just that, mate. It's waffle and it's bullshit. And it's only coming from one part of the world, and that's Spain and certain Madrid friendly media. So I wouldn't be concerned about it. You've nothing to worry about as far as I'm aware. Wirtz has given his word and made his decision, and Liverpool and Leverkusen are just negotiating now. So Paul Joyce said negotiations continue for Florian Wirtz, who would cost a club record fee. Liverpool are all in on Wirtz. Liverpool want Wirtz badly because they know that he is a superstar. They know he's two-footed. They know that he can play in a host of positions. They know that he can help us unpick a low block. They know that he can add goals and assists. And they see him as a long-term successor for Mohamed Salah's place in the squad's hierarchy. So, get excited because this one is going to happen. The only thing I can say to you is whether it's going to be 23 or 27 that he has on his back. Pedro is a good player, but his temperament worries me. He was lucky to escape a number of red cards past season. That's the only reason I would not want him, said S4T. I like João Pedro. I like João Pedro as a 30 to 40 million pound player. Nothing more than that for me. But again, if I was in charge of this Liverpool squad, there's probably another 3 or 4 players I'd be selling. I'd be looking at Diogo Jota's future as well, if I'm being really honest about it. Do you think Maka could be sold or Szoboszlai? No, absolutely not. Why would you? As fans, we have a tendency to think first 11 only. And we can't do that because let's say we picked up an injury this season to Szoboszlai or McAllister. We'd have been in a whole world of trouble because the drop-off would have been there. Same with Gravenberch. So Liverpool have to make sure that we have the options there. And what excites me about the future of the midfield is if we can keep the likes of McAllister and Wirtz and Szoboszlai fresh and close to their best, because there's been times this season where Mac has looked a bit jaded, Gravenberch has obviously played a lot of football, and Dominic Szoboszlai as well has been a little bit up and down on occasion. So keeping these guys at their peak, managing their minutes over the course of a long season, I think it's going to be time for celebration and trophies over the next few years. Honestly, I am extremely optimistic that we're going to have a successful next 3-4 years. I in no way feel as fearful of Manchester City as I have in the past. Arsenal, well, Thierry Henry thinks that Arsenal are underperforming, and we'll move on to talk about that one in a while. Andy said, do you think Gomez goes, or what's your opinion? It will come down to him. If Joe is happy to stay, I think he stays. But if Joe wants to go and search for first team football after giving Liverpool 10 years, I think Liverpool will adhere to make sure that Joe can get that move. But, we've got to be somewhat selfish about this as well. We have to make sure that we're not leaving ourselves short in any position, whether that's centre-back or right-back for Joe, or even at left-back as a potential cover. Liverpool need to make sure that we have the bodies and the quality that we need for next season. So, again, I think Canade is the key to unlocking a lot of the future of how our defence may look. If Canade signs a new deal with Liverpool, then I think we bring in another centre-back and you may see Kwanzaa move on. That quote tells a lot of his character. That's a working-class mindset that we will all fall in love with. However, it hasn't sunk in that he wants to join because it doesn't feel real. I know, man. I get it. It's been a bit of a whirlwind start to the transfer window. And, we're so used to talking about players and then maybe getting 1 or 2 of them, or maybe not getting them. But at the start of this window, it really does look like all the talk about Liverpool preparing with plans A, B, and C, and the research and the preparation's been done. So, give credit where it's due. But again, I can totally understand any feelings of nervousness or anxiety around it because, well, we've seen these things happen before, haven't we? Zubamendi, before him, obviously Lavia, Caicedo, even going back to Tchouaméni before that. But this is the one we're going to get right and get over the line. So I think we can all be excited by it. Right, let's check in on our poll. There we go. Who should we sign as a striker? We've had 1,760 votes. We'll let it go up to 2,000. So if you haven't voted, folks, please do take a second to do so. And selfishly, I want to say thank you to everyone that just checked in on me over the last few days. To play a small little part in some of your daily lives means so much to me. And for the people that checked in on me to make sure I was okay as well, thank you all for that. Because as I've said, I'm not going to lie, it's been a tough few days and I found myself a bit emotionally all over the place at times. Sometimes I've just broken down into tears with my wife, and other times I've tried to be resolute and put on a brave face. But I won't lie, Monday impacted me. I wasn't there. I wasn't at the parade. We flew home that morning, but the scenes and what I'd seen, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what was unfolding in front of my eyes. It was It was heartbreaking, but again, like I say, I'm eternally grateful that, somebody was looking down and there hasn't been a fatality, and I'm clinging on to that fact. Adam Noon said I didn't get home till 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Jai reckons we could get more for Nunez, maybe 60 million. Alvarez is quality, but he's small. We need a tall striker if we have two rapid wing-backs whipping in crosses. I don't think we do, to be honest. I get where you're coming from, Benny. I do, and I haven't liked some of the aimless crossing that we've been doing recently. It seemed like everything was looking for Salah at the back post, but I think we need pace, personally, and we need people who can get in behind the channels. We need people who can stretch the fences. We need people to be concerned, to concern defences about balls over the top and playing a high line against us. I think Julian Alvarez and his versatility would be ideal, personally. But I don't know. Ekitike could be the biggest bargain in the world, but I'm just not fully convinced just yet on a personal basis. Do I reckon Real Madrid will sign Ferdinand? They're welcome to him, to be honest, and they can have ref watch as well. Right, so we've had over the 2,000 votes now, and with 67% of the vote, you guys want Julian Alvarez to be Liverpool's striker next season. And I am absolutely 100% in that 67%. Next was Hugo with 24%. Although somebody did post on the Sam Maguire's post, I imagine the banner, Hugo, boss. That'd be interesting on the cop. Was João Pedro last on 3%, and Benjamin Sesko on 4%. So again, thank you to everyone that took part in that poll. Chelsea have completed football. Did they win the game? I haven't been paying attention to it, mate, since the first half. I was on here, obviously, working away. I don't even know the score. But if they've won it, fair play. Yeah, they've completed those three, although I hope we never get to do, because I don't want Liverpool ever being in the Europa Conference League. But if they've won it, fair play to them. I don't even know the score, as I said. Craig, if we can't get Alvarez, who would you choose from the lot? I don't know enough about Hugo. So as I said, I'm happy to bow down to other people's knowledge on him. If he's the one that the manager wants and that Hughes and Edwards thinks the right fit, then I'm happy to go with him. Just for me, the numbers just seem a little bit pumped up, a little bit exaggerated around him. I don't think he's worth that money yet. Oh, it was 3-1, is it? Wow. They turned that one around. Wow. Jesus. They turned that one around. I've actually seen Hugo, and I have to say he has potential. I think this transfer will pay off in the next 5 years. He's a lot of pace and very good technique in his shot. So Sam Maguire's been given some numbers and stats around it as well. Moby Hake has said, Marca reports Arsenal sporting director Andrea Berta, ex-Atletico Madrid director, is trying for Julian Alvarez. If it's between us, I will take my chances with good long-term relationship with the player, his agent and his close friend Alexis McAllister. It's also Marca, so take that with a pinch of salt. So here Lewis Steele said that Liverpool will, and the wording here is key, by the way, Lewis Steele said Liverpool will want around 50 million for Jarell Quansah. Again, I think the language used there is intentional, not would ask for. It's Liverpool will want, meaning that it looks like Jarell Quansah is available for sale. So, Lewis Steele has also said Harvey Elliott has interest from Bayer Leverkusen and Borussia Dortmund, as well as past interest from Brighton. And look, I don't know if you guys seen the pictures of Harvey Elliott on the pitch at the end of the game, but it certainly did look like he was saying his goodbyes for me. Let me know what you guys think, maybe agree or disagree on it, but it did look to me like he was saying his goodbyes. David Newell, so we don't need potential now. We want ready-made players. We always buy potential. Now's the time for the finished article. Well, I wouldn't say Hugo's the finished article. But he does have enough of a body of work in a top 5 league that I think Liverpool's recruitment team would feel more comfortable than maybe rolling the dice on a Gyökeres or somebody like that. So is it 4-1 to Chelsea now? I've seen a couple of people say 4-1 in the chat now. 3-1 Chelsea are getting silverware. Fernandes, Nicholas Jackson and Sancho scored. Fair play. Look, they were always the huge favourites to win that competition. And look, they should have won it. And they have gone and won it. So, credit where it's due. Who do I think will win the Champions League final? It's a tough one. I mean, I probably edged the PSG, but, I've probably underestimated Inter Milan for a long time. And that's probably my own stupidity. But I just think it feels like this PSG team are destined to win it. But don't rule out Inter Milan at all. It is probably a coin flip of a final. Paro said, what baffles me, Craig, is Jurgen never getting the backing in any window. Makes me happy seeing how much these owners are backing slot. So it got me thinking, Paro, was it maybe Jurgen that didn't want to bring in as many players, let's say, as perhaps we should have? Maybe we never know. Because, like you've said, it's difficult to understand why he wouldn't have maybe had the same backing financially as Arne seems to be getting, because, he's certainly proven himself over and over. So, you wonder, is it maybe somewhere in the middle? Something to do with the finances at the time. Also, maybe our owners have looked at the landscape of football at the minute and just think, well, times are moving, times are changing, and Liverpool, to be competitive and win things, need to make sure that we are acting like a big club, and we have brought in an enormous amount of money. I mean, 56 million from, I think, TV revenues or something alone for the Premier League this season, or from, no, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Sorry, 1 second. What's this phrase? Solidarity payments, that's the word I'm looking for. So, Sport Bild report that 4 clubs were interested in Wirtz: Madrid, Manchester City, Liverpool and Bayern Munich. But Florian's father advised him to speak to every interested party, which he did, and in the end, he chose Liverpool. So, as I said, don't be concerned about the stuff with Real Madrid. You've no need to be. Absolutely, David. Agree with you 100%, mate. Absolutely count my blessings that there isn't a fatality. What happened to James Pearce? I don't have any clue what you mean, Alex. Yeah, sorry, man. I don't know what you mean. He's working with the Athletic, if that's what you're asking, but I don't know anything about James Pearce. I hope nothing's happened to him. He's a very nice man. Paro said, Craig, I hope you're okay, man. I don't think you realise how much you mean to us all in our day-to-day. Your live streams and your videos are a huge boost to people like me. Thank you, man. I feel like an imposter, man. I say this all the time. I don't feel like I deserve any of this. And I've realised over the last week, quite maybe how big a part in people's day-to-day lives that I do play, because people have come up and said it to me, and it's a difficult thing to discuss, because you never want to think you're Billy Big Bollocks or anything like that. I'm not. I'm a normal guy, but all I can ever say is I will make mistakes. I will hold my hands up when I do. My heart will always be in the right place. I will always adhere to be honest and upfront with everybody. And whatever I may mean to some of you guys, I promise you, it's coming back the other way as well. You guys are a huge part of mine and my family's life, and we think of you as extended family and friends. This isn't a business to me. This is a community of people, and I love it dearly. And I'm very grateful to be in the position we are and for the channel to be going where it is, but I will never get above my station, and I will never think of anything other than what's best for our community, and to be honest with you guys about how I feel and what I know or what I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm very grateful to you all. Nomad said, to the surprise of absolutely no one, Chelsea win the Conference League. Well done to them. Romy said, Craig, I love your content. I hope you take a nice vacation. Also, do you have the shaver deal still? Yeah, it's Anfield 15 is the code now for 15% off and free shipping on orders over $49. But yes, it's Anfield 15, my friend. Right, so this from Florian Plettenberg. And this is why I said at the start of the stream, I don't know where we're fully at with the situation with Cody Gakpo, because Florian Plettenberg has written, a departure for Cody Gakpo this summer is possible. Bayern are one of 3 clubs that he would consider leaving Liverpool for. Now, I don't know if this is, let's say, maybe Germany and Bayern Munich's ego being hurt, because it feels like there's been a lot of ego and bravado coming from the Bayern side. And I don't know if this is maybe Plettenberg trying to boost up Bayern again or to play up their chances, but I don't know whether Gakpo is going to be available or whether he leaves or not. I have no idea. The reports say Liverpool are almost certain to keep him from the English side, but as I said here, Plettenberg said a departure for Cody Gakpo is possible. Bayern are one of 3 clubs he'd consider leaving Liverpool for. So from that, you take what you think, and I don't want to say to you who's right and who's wrong, because I really don't know. Craig's our 24-25 season Ballon d'Or streamer. Thank you, my man. You need to just congratulate yourselves, though. It's you guys that make this channel what it is. It's not me, it's you guys. So, Milos Kerkez, here we go. Here's some good news. Sorry, I shouldn't have said the here we go phrase. That obviously has another connotation, but Milos Kerkez can't wait to become a Liverpool player, and the expectation is that the deal will advance in the next few days. So that coming in from Fabrizio Romano. So look, for me, if you take anything from this stream, I would say that Kerkez, Frimpong and Wirtz are players that you can fully expect to see in the red of Liverpool next season. That I feel extremely confident to say and to put your mind at ease about. I hope that helps. But with regards to some others or some outgoings, I think there is a lot of moving pieces at the minute, and we're going to just have to wait and see how it develops. But I don't know. I think I speak for everybody when I say those 3 to start the window. Come on now. That's pretty damn impressive. So, full credit to everybody involved, because I'm dreaming now. Everything is possible at this point. You might remember when Manchester City were thought to be ahead of us in this deal. I went and I said to you guys on the stream, if Manchester City get Wirtz, I think that makes them favourites for the Premier League and the Champions League. If Liverpool were to get him, I think that makes us the same. And we're getting them. So I think right now, with the squad that they're assembling, we're going to be a formidable proposition for anybody next season. The options we're going to have in midfield will be incredible. The options we're going to have on attack will be incredible. And hopefully the centre-back addition, because we know the full-back options are going to be incredible. If you can keep Canade alongside Virgil, keep Joe Gomez in the team, bring in another centre-back, I mean, it's looking pretty good. It'll certainly be the most confident I've been ever going into a season with Liverpool. And I even say that on the Jurgen Klopp seasons. Craig, you could offer one channel on YouTube to watch forever and it wouldn't cross my mind to pick Anfield Agenda. The community is something to be desired and it's not something you get often. It is. You're right, man. This community is full of amazing people from all different walks of life and parts of the world who look out for each other, and it's why I'm so goddamn proud to be part of it. I don't ever want to sound braggy or anything, because it's not in my nature. It really isn't. But there is no fucking doubt who is number 1 in Liverpool fan content. We don't get the recognition from the mainstream on it, but the numbers don't lie. Our nearest competitors on YouTube were 22 million views less than us over the start of this year. This month alone, we did 12 million views on YouTube. Our competitors did around 2. Whether certain parts of the establishment want to admit it or not, Our channel is the most watched Liverpool fan channel in the world, bar none. And it isn't because of me, and it's not because of great information or inside knowledge we have. It is simply down to the community, and I've said it from day one. You guys are amazing, and you guys make my life easy, and I love you all dearly for that. Mac, how are you, man? It has been a minute. Yeah, it's been a while. I hope you're well. We fucking did it. FSG keeping promises. Am I dead and gone to heaven? I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, what a season. You know, I'll go back to August. I never for 1 second thought and expected that we were going to win the Premier League this year. I thought we'd be in a Champions League spot, all right, but I thought maybe, you never know in the Champions League with Liverpool. We were a good cup competition team. I thought maybe something there, but did I think that we'd be winning the league by 10 points at the end of it, having not won one of our last 4 games? No. But it is incredible the job that Arne Slot, Sipke Hulshoff, Johnny Heidinga and the backroom team have done. It's been incredible the selection process that chose Arne Slot from Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, Will Spearman and everybody else. And I am absolutely not afraid to sit here and credit our owners as well. I've said all the way through, when I call out FSG, it's because I honestly believe that they weren't pulling their weight. And all I ever wanted was them to back managers the way that we know is possible. And that is happening now. And I've no reason to be complaining about anything like that. I'm getting what we all want, which is the manager being backed and us to feel like Liverpool are doing what we should be doing, which is going out there and strengthening from a position of strength. And I promise you, I am eternally grateful to everybody involved at the club for that and for the process that they're unfolding at the minute. I'm extremely proud of all of them. And, I'm happy to retire the Where's the Money, John, as long as we get the players, man. That's all it's about. It's about making sure that we hold people to account, whether that's players who aren't performing, whether that's a coach who maybe isn't performing or whatever. I'll always just give my honest view on it and speak what I believe to be the truth. And I believe that they have been sitting on their hands for the last few years. I feel someone is leaving to balance the spending. They will. Absolutely. We're going to bring in money from sales. And let me talk you through some of it, maybe, Whitehammer. So Kelleher, you can probably expect 20 to 25 million for. Elliott, I'd say you can probably expect 40 million for. If Kwanzaa leaves, it'll be somewhere between 40 to 50 million pound for. Who else are we talking about? Tyler Morton will probably bring Liverpool in 12 to 15 million pound if he moves on. Darwin Núñez, I don't know really where to go with this one. It could be somewhere between 45 and 60. So if you add in all of that money, like you're talking easily there. Like, let's run through those numbers again off the top of my head. Kelleher 25, let's say Elliott 35 to balance it out, that's 60. Darwin, let's say 45, that's 105. 50 million for Morton, that's 120. And then there was another name I mentioned in there somewhere as well. So you can easily see 150 million being recouped. So if Liverpool end this with a net spend of 120, 130 million, I'm more than happy with that, as long as we've gotten the players that we're speaking about. Will next season have the same Champions League format as last? Yes, I think there are some small tweaks coming into it, to the best of my recollection. I think they were talking about guaranteeing certain pathways through to the final and home fixtures in the knockout stages, but again, off the top of my head, I don't know the exact ins and outs of it, but the format of it, yes, it is going to be the same. Rather Sesko or Ekitike for a centre? I've gone back and forth on that, Arthur, to be honest with you. At one point, I thought Benjamin Sesko would be incredible, and I think he is. But, a lot of other people are really, really big on Ekitike's potential. So I'm happy to just go with whatever the club want on this one. Honestly, I am. I'm happy to take the recruitment team's word on what they want to do. They haven't gotten it wrong so far in this window. So, let's keep believing in them. Victor, always lovely to see you, my friend, said, it's good that young talents choose Liverpool. You'll never walk alone. It is. And look, this Wirtz signing should be a huge statement of where our club is at. He had his pick of world football clubs. Anyone. He could have picked a team to join. Anybody in the world would have welcomed in Florian Wirtz. And after speaking to them, which, he has, he gave his word to Liverpool because Arne Slot was incredibly impressive. Liverpool's season, and I'm sure the scenes at Anfield haven't been lost on him. Obviously, he was here with Leverkusen and seeing what the stadium was like, trained at the AXA training centre as well, and he chose to come to Liverpool Football Club. So, Anfield sector said, breaking, Saudi Arabian side Al Nasser have made Diaz their top summer transfer target. And that's coming from Alex Crook. So, information there. Milos Kerkez can't wait to become a Liverpool player. The anticipation is that the deal will advance in the next few days, according to Romano. So, yeah, Al Nasser have made Liverpool forward Luis Diaz their top summer transfer target. Now, I want to ask what you guys think if we sell Diaz. Now, look, again, I'm not wishing Luis Diaz out of the club, nor am I wishing Gakpo out of the club, but we do have to discuss these things when they're being mentioned. So, what do we think Luis Diaz price should be, taken into account his age? He's 2 years left on his Liverpool deal. He's had his best season in the Liverpool shirt as well. If he is to be lost, let's just do a poll and see what you think a fair asking price is. 1 second. Right, so let's say, oh God, where do I even start with this one? Go low to start with and we'll build up. So, right, next one. Okay. And one more. Right, so I'm going to ask, what is Luis Diaz's value? 40 million, 50 million, 60 million, or 70 million plus? Please do vote away in it. We'll check back in on it before we finish up as well, and see what you guys think is the fair valuation of Luis Diaz. Are Real Madrid in for Wirtz, said Matthew Park. Matthew, you've nothing to worry about there, mate. It's just nonsense coming from Spanish media. Wirtz has made his decision. He'll come to Liverpool Football Club, and Liverpool and Leverkusen are currently negotiating the terms of that sale. So you don't need to be concerned, my man. Again, no, Wirtz isn't going to Madrid. He's going to be a Liverpool player. Wirtz, Frimpong and Kerkez will be Liverpool Football Club players. You can rest easy on that one. Don't let all of this stuff get in your head. And I know it's easy because it's happened before. I get it. Like, I'm not saying anybody's silly for thinking it, far from it. But I'm just saying to you, the level of confidence around this one is remarkably high. So, I think you can rest easy on these three signings. After that, I really don't know. Right, again, let's keep going. Sorry, I'm trying to play catch up here. Right. Any word on a striker, a CDM, a centre-back target? So the striker, yeah, we spoke about earlier on. Ourselves and Chelsea seemingly at the front of the queue for Hugo Ekitike. Arsenal and ourselves mentioned with Julian Alvarez a little bit, but there's been no, what I would say, Ragev, a front runner for us that I would say I feel I know 100% X or Y is Liverpool's number one target. I don't know that at the minute, mate. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see a name that none of us have spoken about either. So it will be a position that we look to strengthen after we sell Darwin Núñez. So let's keep going. Jamie, thank you, my man. What a start to pre-season. Insane with Frimpong, Wirtz and Kerkez coming in. Possibly Ekitike. Talks about a centre-back too. We do need a centre-back. 100%. 100% need a centre-back. And I would argue we need a centre-back before we sell one. So if we sell one, my greedy ass would like two brought in. But for me, if you keep Canade and you've got Virgil and you keep Joe Gomez, I'm fine with selling Kwanzaa if you bring in somebody who the manager will actually look to play if we need to. So that's where I'm at with it. I've always said to you guys, I think I'm one of the first people to have said to you about Kwanzaa being available for sale. Other people have told me I've been mad when I've been saying it, but I can only tell you what I know to be the case, and that is that Arna and the club were open to listening to offers for Kwanzaa. Somebody said there about Malik Fofana as Diaz replacement. He's certainly a name that's been in the mix, and we know Malik Fofana is a huge admirer of Liverpool Football Club and would love to come and play. I'm not sure the situation at Lyon at the second one. What's this? Someone just messaged me. Oh, so apparently, again, I just got a message from someone saying you're actually now third on that list of viewed football fan channels, as the other one uses match footage, so doesn't count in the mix. If you use match footage on YouTube, come on now, that doesn't count. Can't be using match footage on YouTube. Look, I don't know who was ever third in the list, but yeah, for me, we are the third most viewed fan channel in the world, and I'm incredibly proud of us for being there. And by us, I mean all of us. You guys watching at home. Right, let's keep going. Craig, I don't think LFC should sell Diaz or Gakpo. Nor do I, mate. I don't see any need to touch the left-hand side. Right now, I like the options we have on the left. Do I think we could get a bit more from them? I do. But I do like the options that we have. I can only imagine if one goes, we'll have somebody ready to come in, though. That's all I'd say to you. But I agree with you. I don't want to rush either of those gentlemen out the door. I've a lot of time for both of them. I think Cody Gakpo is a very good developing player, and I think Luis Diaz, as I mentioned, has just had his best season. Itachi, lovely to see you, my friend. Good to see you, Craig. Hope everybody here is fine. I'm super hyped for the transfer window. Excuse me, and the next season. I'm proud of this club and this city. At the end of the storm, there's always a golden sky. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. I'm incredibly proud of the city and the club and everybody for the solidarity that's been shown over what's been a very difficult few days. And people asking about Endo as well. Let me just take you back to the man's own comments himself. He certainly feels like he wants to be at Liverpool. Asked about his future, he said, I think I'll be at Liverpool next season. If I have the chance to play for Liverpool, would I really want to throw that away and move to another team? I wouldn't. I just love him more now, to be honest with you. I just love Endo even more. Endomania, said Jay Muse. Yep. Craig, could Wirtz get more from Lucho and Gakpo? Absolutely. For me, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to with Florian Wirtz coming in is maybe finally being able to unpick these low blocks a little bit better, because of his speed of footwork, the fact he's a two-footed player. When we spoke about Elliott probably being the one who was most likely to operate between the lines, Florian Wirtz will take that on to another level. And if we have him, we have Mo on the right, we know we're going to have good options on the left, whomever that may be, whether that is Diaz, whether it is Gakpo, whether that is somebody else coming in on top of one of them. The future is really bright there, and don't forget young Jaden Dan's future as well. Trey Leone coming through, young Rio coming through. We have to keep an eye on what's happening with Lewis Kumas and his future as well. It's going to be a busy summer for Liverpool, and there are going to be some outgoings as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see these three get done, and then maybe Liverpool looking to a few sales before going back in to complete the transfer business. That's what I think is a likely outcome here, and a sensible play as well. Really good question, this one, Oliver. Thoughts on Hato? Brilliant pedigree, obviously, coming through at Ajax. I think his future will lie at centre back, but I'd love him to come in as an option. Again, you have an option to cover left back, left centre back. But from what I've read, Ajax won't make that an easy deal, and it would be a tricky one to negotiate. But again, definitely a player who has been linked with not just us, but a lot of clubs moving this summer. What do you think will happen to Ben and Nat? Well, Nat Phillips' contract's up, so Nat Phillips will be departing Liverpool. Um, Other one, unsure. But yeah, Nat Phillips' contract's up, so he'll be departing. JP said thoughts on the Canade situation. Yeah, his comments the other day, I don't know how to interpret them, JP. He said it's with his agent. He did say that those reports about him being close to a deal in October time, which were from very credible journalists, from Paul Joyce, from Fabrizio Romano, and others, he said that that was wide of the mark, that it was fake. So I really don't know where we are with Canade. I hope he wants to stay at the club. I very much don't want to lose him, but I'd be a liar if I said to you, I know that he's going to sign a new deal. I don't know what's going on there yet. But like everybody else, I hope he stays. Craig, is Wirtz a done deal? I have concerns now. Yes, it is. Now, it's not a done deal from the perspective of Liverpool and Leverkusen having reached an agreement on the structure, the payment and the numbers involved. But it's a done deal of him having made his decision where he wants to go. And Liverpool have, I believe, all the personal terms and all sorted out with him. Don't worry about Real Madrid. If you take one thing from this stream tonight, let it be that. Don't worry about these stories about Real Madrid. Wirtz has made his decision. He's coming to Liverpool Football Club. Real Madrid are probably just trying to get a little bit back because Liverpool aren't letting Trent out to play in the Club World Cup. And they're a bit salty about that. So I would say you can calm on that. There's no stress about it. Frimpong, Wirtz, Kerkez will be Liverpool players. After that, the rest of the window is up in the air a bit. Lauren, I can't give you advice on how to grieve because I'm not a professional. I've always said to people, speak to a professional. And I'm really sorry to hear about your nan dying of cancer. It's a horrible disease that impacts every single family, but I'm not qualified to give you advice on how to grieve. I'll be afraid to say something that would do more harm than good. So my advice is always to speak to your doctor, speak to your parents, your family, your teachers, a mental health professional, and somebody who can give you the correct advice. I'm not qualified to, and I wouldn't want to do you more harm than good. Corbin said thoughts and prayers to everybody affected by the recent disgusting events are okay. Thoughts and prayers with everybody affected. A class act, Corbin, mate. And yeah, I'm just again really relieved that it looks like there won't be a single fatality. People have been injured and hurt in a bad way. They're receiving great treatment and care in 4 different hospitals, I believe, in Liverpool. But yeah, just extremely relieved that we aren't talking about fatalities. Alonso won't try to take Wirtz, plus they have Bellingham. Exactly. The stuff to me about Madrid, I don't bat an eyelid at it. It doesn't worry me one bit. Especially because, stick to the big journalists, Romano, Ornstein, Joyce, everybody else. It's Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool. Wirtz wants Liverpool. He's spoken to everybody. He gave everybody the time that they wanted to try to convince him and his family about where his future should lay. And he's made his decision. He's coming to Liverpool Football Club. And Bayern are being really salty about it. Tough shit. They're so used to getting who they want in the Bundesliga and cherry picking the best talent. And that hubris has bitten him in the arse here. And, you've seen the reports that said when he spoke with company, he wasn't really blown away by the vision that outlined to him. But when he spoke with our manager, Arne Slot made a huge impression on him and he was hyped about the direction that Liverpool are going. And of course, he's just seen all the scenes that we've seen about Liverpool lifting that title, about the 1 to 1.5 million people out in the street celebrating that title. He knows the scope and size of this football club and he wants to be a part of our bright future. And that's great. Paul Davies said, getting Wirtz is unbelievable signing, but Frimpong at Kerkez gives us so much pace. Yeah, man. Paul, spot on, mate. I'm so excited. If there's one thing, Paul, I would agree with you that we were maybe missing a little bit. It is a bit more pace. That's one thing this season I felt like we could do with a little bit more of. I'm not saying, that we've got slouches in the team, but that rocket of a pace in the fullback position is going to be really exciting as well. And Wirtz gliding in and around. I'm so excited, honestly. Never been more excited for a signing. Virgil is the last one I can think of that I've been this excited. I won't lie and say I was as excited when we signed Alisson. I didn't know exactly what we were getting there. I didn't realise how good a goalkeeper Alisson was going to be. But I knew with Virgil what we were getting. And this, to me, is another transformational signing for Liverpool Football Club that will make sure that we are challenging at the very, very top for years to come, which was the promise from the manager and the recruitment team. So, yeah, enjoy. Andy Partridge said, Frimpong in particular is so keen to take people on and has pace to burn. I think we're getting Wirtz to compensate for Trent's creativity. Absolutely. Arnott and the club have been open about that as well. And we all know we're losing creativity when Trent goes. You seen when he came on at the weekend, I think it's fair to say he made a big impact in the game when he came on. He was putting in some very good crosses, and when we went down to 10 men, he was driving us forward as well, and he had a big say in the last day. So, yeah, we need to replace some of that creativity, definitely. Ewok Kebab, what a name, man. What an account name that is. Love it. Said, maybe Real should have sent us a life-size pinata, of Sergio Ramos to sweeten us for letting Trent go early in 5 million. Yeah, look, I'm sick of Real Madrid, man. I'm sick to death of them, and I'm glad this is one transfer story for us with Wirtz that we're going to get the happy ending of. What centre backs do you want at Liverpool? Opinion on Bastoni. I don't think Bastoni leaves Italy, to be honest with you. What centre backs do I want? I wanted Dean Huijsen. I'm not going to lie, I really did. After that, I don't really have other ones that I think that I'm excited about. But again, I trust the process, and I never thought I'd be saying I trust the process, but I do at this moment trust the process, and I feel like we will get in the right one for the way the manager wants to play, and that's how confident I am in the people that are in the roles at the minute. I've never had a doubt about Michael Edwards, never. I've only doubted about whether we'd be given the financial backing or not. And it also depends if we're looking left or right-sided. So if we're looking left-sided, I could start naming off names like Nkapie, Mark Gay as potential options. If we're looking right-side, you've got, I think, Arujo is one of the right-sided ones. Hato could be another left-sided option. So it depends who we move on and who the club... Do they want somebody that can play in both positions, as an example, in case Virgil or Ibu needs a rest? Andy said, Craig, Arteta is 5 years of a 3-year process. Trust that process. Did you see Thierry Henry's comments, though, on that? Let me just see if I have it here 1 second, or if it was somewhere else. No, I think it was somewhere else. Henry's questioned whether Arsenal have been moving forward. And it's about fucking time somebody came out and said that, because I think Arteta's getting away with it. He's delivered a trophy in his first year that he came in and basically had Emery's squad there, won the FA Cup, and hasn't won a damn thing since, and has spent, 700 million quid. I think Arteta's job should be under consideration, and if he fails to deliver a big trophy to them this season, it should be a no-brainer that he gets fired, in my opinion. Cancel said, who would you pick to sign, Wirtz or Alvarez? Why can't I have both? If I had to have one, Wirtz. Because I think we've lacked the creativity to open teams up, and he will give us that. Alvarez, I would take over Isak. I would say that much to you. But right now, I think we'll find somebody to put the ball in the net. We have Jadon Danns coming through, and it's about taking some of the pressure off Mo and making sure that we have other people contributing there. And I think Wirtz is gonna do. I mean, look, think of it this way: if you're a striker or you're Mo coming into Liverpool now, and you know that Wirtz is going to be there as well, you're going to be licking your lips at the amount of chances you're going to be getting. Wirtz, to me, could be a potential Ballon d'Or winner in the future, and I say that seriously. Do you think Tsimikas will leave the club? Yes, absolutely, this summer. Where he ends up, I don't know. We spoke about it earlier on. I'll give you a list of some of the clubs whose name has been mentioned with him. 1 second. So many notes to get through here. Just scroll back up, mate, so just bear with me. Where's Costas? Where are you? So here we go, yeah. So Leeds, Valencia and Lille are among the clubs interested in Costas, who's likely to leave the club this summer, as per Lewis Steele. So there's some of the clubs that are in the mix. Corbin, do you think we could get Alvarez? I really don't know, mate. And that's the honest answer. My gut feeling is probably no, because I don't know if Atleti will let him go. But I would say if they are willing to even entertain letting him go or have a negotiation about it, we would be there and interested. But right now, I just don't know. I couldn't name to you one person that I think is the most likely one to come into the centre. I really wouldn't know whose name to put out there. Right, let's check this one. So we asked, what value is Luis Diaz? 40 million, 50 million, 60 million, or 70 million plus? And after 2,270 votes, you guys reckon 40 or 70 million plus. 48% of you guys reckon 70 million plus for Luis Diaz. I'm in the 60 million camp, personally, but obviously as a Liverpool fan, if we were to sell a player, I want us to get the most money possible. But I think with his age, probably in the 60 to 65 bracket for me. But again, I very much do hope you guys are right. And if Liverpool do cash in, that they get as much money as possible. Just tuned in, said Roger. Anything confirmed yet? No. No. The nearest I guess we have to something being confirmed, mate, is Fabrizio Romano's confidence that Kerkez can't wait to become a Liverpool player, and the expectation is that that deal would advance in the next few days. What I would also add to people coming in late is don't worry about Real Madrid and Wirtz. He's made up his mind of where he's going, and the most recent developing story is actually about a potential outgoing, and that's Alex Crook saying that Al Nassr have made Diaz their top summer transfer target. So, you know, your guess is as good as mine there. Today we've seen both of our left wingers, linked with moves away. So I don't know which one or either are likely to go. Stephen Hudson, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Really appreciate your kind words, mate. Thank you. Adam Byrne said, Craig, do you think Mo and Virgil signed new deals because they were promised we would bring in top players? I think that's definitely a part of it, mate. Yeah. You know, any player would be perfectly within their rights to ask the club, you know, what direction they're going in. And, you know, Virgil's always been really confident we'll see a big summer this summer for Liverpool. So, yeah, I certainly think it played a part in it. You know, Mohamed Salah's been really honest and said he thought a few months back there was probably only a 10% chance that he'd be staying at Liverpool, and that he admitted he was speaking with Saudi and that that's still a possibility for the future. But both of those gentlemen always made it really clear that the priority and the preference was to stay and play for Liverpool Football Club, and who can blame them? I mean, just look at the scenes from Anfield on Sunday and what it meant to both of them. Any news on Elliot going or staying, said Dave Abaj. I think he goes. I think if you look at the end of the game on Sunday, it tells you everything you need to know. Whether you're talking about the comments that Elliot made after it, it feels to me like that was his goodbye at Anfield. And I'm going to be sad about it. I really like Harvey Elliott, but, you know, if you're him now and you're seeing Liverpool bringing in Florian Wirtz, I mean, let's be realistic. You've got Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Jones, McAllister, Gravenberch in that midfield. I mean, common sense would say I've just probably gone back another step there in the pecking order if Wirtz comes in. So yeah, I think the players I would say I feel confident will go this summer are, again, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, just as in these are the ones I actually think are going to go. Whether they should go or not, that's open to debate. But Elliott, Costas, Kelleher, Morton, and probably Kwanzaa would be the ones I would say the most likely. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to go record the update video. So don't worry, I'm going to have a video out in the next 20 minutes to go through all the very latest news regarding incomings and outgoings in a nice bite-size 8 to 10 minute video for you, so you don't have to traipse back through tonight. I want to say, though, thank you for making my first stream back a good one, because I won't lie, I was a bag of nerves all day. The video we put out this morning was the hardest video I've ever had to record on this channel. But you guys, as always, have made me feel calm and relaxed. And I love you to bits. Thank you for your continued support. And we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Same time, same place. But again, thank you so much for coming in tonight and spending time with us. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And we'll catch up with you soon. Much love.